simmer down a little bit, I would be glad to call this meeting to order at 1900 hours. How's that, Buzz?
There you go.
Thank you, sir. And I would ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
And Trustee Bingham?
Present.
Trustee Duncan?
Here.
Trustee Brendan? Here. Trustee Mansell? Here. Trustee Mitchell?
Here.
Trustee Saylor?
Aye.
Okay, as usual, we will now rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll have a moment of silence for all those who fought and died for our freedom. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous board meeting, June 9th, 2020. Moved by Vice President Duncan.
Second.
Second by Trustee Saylor.
Sure.
Any discussion? Hearing no request to speak, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment on agenda items. Gentlemen, I presume you will be speaking later, so, okay. I have no president's report, and we will get into the committee section and commission reports, starting with the airport. You all have the minutes. Are there any questions or anything on that? I will be talking to Mr. Sickler, the airport manager, besides wanting him to meet Mr. Bossert. I think it's been like 4 or 5 months since he's been here to update us on the progress over at the airport. So I'll be talking to Jeremy and get him over hopefully for next month. Okay, Chairman Mitchell, Streets and Infrastructure Recreation Cemetery Committee, please.
Right, we had a meeting on June 23rd. We met at Alexander Park. We had a tour of the splash pad. We were looking to look at the cracks and see how they've been filled in, and observed it, and then Ben gave us some more updates on what had been done with Altman construction. We also talked about a sprinkling system for the turf that's been put in there, and we talked about opening COVID-19 opening practices for the splash pad as well, which basically was signs that Ben had set up to be put up, obviously, for social distancing and closing off one of the benches. So having said that, that was pretty much our meeting. I would move that we approve the final payment of $20,000 to Altman Construction for the Edwards Alexander Park splash pad.
I have a motion by Chairman Mitchell. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Trustee Mansell. Is there any discussion on this agenda item?
I will comment too, we had held back $20,000. Now we're obviously paying off Altman Construction. They have also agreed to come back, I think it's within 3 years, right?
Correct.
Ben, to check to see and probably put another coat of sealer on whatever Ben and his crew decide that that's necessary to do. So,
Anything to add, Supervisor Martinson?
No, exactly. The deal was we'd sign off if they'd agree to reseal it in 3 years, so.
Administrator Bossert, anything to add?
Nothing to add, covered.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, we will vote on a motion to approve the final pay request to Altman Construction Company in the amount of $20,000 for the Edwards Alexander splash pad. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
okay, and the next motion, I move to approve awarding Schulford Sprinklers and Landscaping Garden Center a proposal placing a sprinkling system at the Edwards Alexander Park splash pad for the amount not to exceed $7,800.
Motion by Chairman Mitchell as read. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Saylor. Discussion.
It said 7,800, it says 7,000 in the minutes.
$7,800. Trustee Bingham.
Is that part of the legacy money?
Right, it does. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I got 4 yeses. Okay.
Oh, in the
Mr.
committee minutes.
President,
Yes. What do you
Vice
got, Dana?
President is pointing out
Says
a
7,000.
discrepancy. Ben, what do you
It's right
remember?
here, it's in the minutes.
It's in the packet.
Yeah, I saw.
7,800.
7,000?
No, it's 78.
It is 78, okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the motion board.
The minutes are wrong.
Somehow the minutes I have are not like sort of stapled together and they're kind of on the back of sheets here, so I apologize for that.
Well, apparently it is wrong, the minutes are wrong.
So my agenda is correct.
Your agenda is correct.
Your agenda is correct and the estimate that's in the minutes are
Are
correct.
correct.
Didn't even wrong minutes.
Somebody didn't type it right.
Mr. Apps, is there anything that needs to be amended, sir? We have 7,000 in the minutes of the CERC meeting. We have 7,800, the actual price on the agenda.
Well, it sounds to me like it's just a discrepancy in the minutes. If the entire committee was there and they're aware of what the actual number is, the minute should be amended to reflect what actually took place. It looks to me as though the 7,800 number is noticed on the agenda properly.
I think we can move forward from here,
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other discussion?
I just have one.
Yes, Eric.
The option for the 2,200, are we going through with that?
Yes. So the legacy money did get, the legacy, there was money left over after the splash pad was completed, and that's where the sprinkler system will be coming out of, the legacy splash pad fund. 7,800, then we'll have X amount of dollars left to discuss future projects.
What is that fund down to now, do you know, Ben?
Right, it's got 44,000 roughly in it today, so
12,000, something like that.
12,000 once we
Yeah,
do the
12,
sprinklers.
somewhere around there.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing no, no request to speak. All those in favor of the motion to approve awarding the Schufer Sprinklers and Landscaping Garden Center proposal, placing a sprinkler system at the Edwards Alexander Park splash pad area in the amount not to exceed $7,800 will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Bingham in opposition. Okay. Alrighty, anything else, Chairman Mitchell?
No, that's
Okay.
all.
Chairman Grundon, public safety, please.
Public safety met July 7th for the fire department when we reviewed our monthly stuff. Chief Arndt, they resumed the monthly meetings on drill nights in July. Chief Arndt also reported that from the, he received a thank you letter from the Southwood County Emergency Pantry Shelf, and they received 626 pounds of food that were donated from the food drive. And we have a motion to bring forward, and that would be a motion to authorize purchase of American Signal warning siren through Northway Communications, utilizing unfunded balance from the FEMA grant and remainder from the police and public works budgets in the amount of $68.52, and I would make that motion.
Okay, motion as as read by Chairman Grundon. Do I have a second? Second by Trustee Bingham. Discussion.
Is this a replacing the siren, or are we adding the siren, or is it we?
This
Adding
will
another
be, Ben, you want to take this?
So right now, we have 4 sirens in the village. They're all hardwired with a Solaris copper wire, which Solaris is going to be getting rid of that at January 1st. So we're going to be doing is putting 1 new siren at Ripple Creek with this money, and and as of January, the hours will be cut down, and myself and Bob will be working on trying to get siren number 2 to go at the fire station, so that the whole town will be new sirens as soon as possible. But we'll have one new siren at least up and running here before January for sure.
Okay.
Anybody else? Hearing no request to speak. All those in favor of the motion read by Chairman Grundon to authorize purchase of the American Signal Warning Siren through Northway Communications utilizing unfunded balance from the FEMA grant and remainder from the Police Public Works budgets, the amount of $6,852, will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Mr. Vice President, Pit Committee.
Then on July 9th, basically, we reviewed the parking complaints issue. We reviewed the garbage and refuse collection policy. We had an inspection update from 241 and 251 Market Avenue. And I think we actually have a motion on for
To approve ordinance 20 revised language.
I thought so, it's not in the minutes.
That actually came out of FHR today, right?
No, that was job. This is chapter 1 of our ordinances.
I don't have them in the minutes, because it's not in the minutes. But yeah, we did approve that, so,
Yes. You'll go ahead with your motion.
yeah, we'll move approval of the revision to ordinance number 20 regarding language in chapter 1, general government.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by the Vice President, second by Trustee Grundon. Do we have discussion?
So what you have in your packet is actual chapter 20, or chapter 1 of our ordinance with all the corrective measures that were taken, all administrative, based on a combination of the PA audit and some adjustments in titles, so nothing of what I'll call substance. And then you see the beginning is a 2-page ordinance number 20 for the year of chapter 1 that will actually codify all those changes in one document. What this is going to drive is towards the end of the year is a total rewrite of, and I say rewrite, a total update of chapter 1 in the forthcoming months. So I'll be able to give you a clean copy of what chapter 1 will look like, less all these changes.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have the ordinance?
It's in there,
It is?
right behind.
Mr. Gow, you wish to speak?
I'm just a little behind, and I'm approving chapter ordinance 20, this is your motion, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fine. We need it.
I didn't want to leave you out.
I didn't want to say anything, I apologize.
Okay, hearing no further requests to speak. All those in favor of the motion to approve ordinance 20 to revise language in chapter 1 general government will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. If you have nothing further on that, Mr. Vice President, why don't you go right into FHR?
I have nothing further, so I'll go into FHR.
Thank you, sir.
We will move we met tonight.
Mr. President, isn't there a second motion?
No, ma'am, I only have one on mine, under Pit Committee.
I have two.
What do you have?
I have Cyber One data.
That was deleted.
Oh,
that
Yes,
was-
more to follow was tabled by the Pit
Okay.
Committee, so we deleted that.
I
Nothing.
must have an old, I'm
Check.
sorry.
I didn't even bring it up in the minutes because there was no action, so there's nothing to discuss, so.
Okay.
And then they did
No
pull
problem.
Must have an old
the,
agenda.
pull that off and then repost it, so we were okay. All right,
All right, we met tonight, so I'll move approval of the monthly bills, journal entries for the previous month, and financial reports.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor of the motion as read by the Vice President signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to approve the hiring of Caleb Peasley as Public Works employee.
Do I have a second? Who was that? I'm sorry. Oh, Eric, okay, thank you. Motion by the Vice President, second by Trustee Saylor, to approve the hire of Caleb Peasley as a Public Works employee. Discussion. Supervisor Martinson, do you have anything you wish to add?
No, approving the board approval, we will be contacting him and setting up his physical and drug test, and if everything goes good, the start date of August 3rd, which will be a Monday, me and Bob will put together and getting that information to him.
Okay, very good. Mr. Bossert, anything to add?
Nothing to add?
Okay. All those in favor of the motion as read by the Vice President to hire Mr. Peasley will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
There was a motion to approve revisions to sections 1, 5, and 34 of the 2020 labor policy. Move approval.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Grundon. Discussion.
So again, what you're seeing in your packet there is the actual policy, labor policy that's been marked up. You see the highlighted areas. Again, mostly administrative changes based on the PA audit and this now new hire by name, an adjustment in the grades and the positioning of our Public Works employees. No other substantive changes were made in the policy.
John?
I never heard of adjusting wages when somebody retires in a group. To me, that's a unique concept. Past practice, but unique to me. So every time an employee retires, we redo the schedule, is what you're saying.
We do move up responsibilities. Responsibilities have changed with the move ups.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna say, here we are again in the middle of the year making salary adjustments, period. I have no opposition to what the people are doing or the people, the employees. It's just, that's my concern.
It will be duly noted in the minutes. Thank you, Trustee Bingham.
So fiscally, just so we're all clear, fiscally, this is just, Solberg's gone, so level job position 4 is open, operator mechanic number 2. That position is now empty. Then we readjusted the new employee as well as the Ryman and Murray, they moved up 1 level. Fiscally, though, it's an exact wash financially
I understand
of what the
that.
payroll is
I
now
understand that.
and what the payroll is before Solberg was on the books. So there is no increase in the pay at all.
I understand.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor of the motion to approve the revisions of section 1, 5, and 34 as read by the Vice President, 2020 labor policy and explained by Mr. Bossert will signify by saying aye.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Can we take them individually?
Okay, we have a request for a roll call vote.
No, individually sections.
You want to bust them apart?
Well, I'm not opposed to 5 and 34. I'm opposed to section 1.
So you're asking for division of the motion.
Yes, I am.
So it has to have a second.
Correct.
I would ask that we address these individually, 1, 5, and 34. I would
Do I
so
have a-
move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Trustee Bingham to divide the vote. Second by the Vice President. Is there any discussion? And the discussion would be...
On the amendment.
On the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
No.
Trustee Mitchell is a no, so that passes. Now I'm going to call for a vote and refresh my memory. Which ones you have a problem with? John?
1534.
1.
Number 1, okay. We're going to vote on 5 and 34. Okay?
Can you tell me where 15 and 34 are, or what they are?
So the numbers within the packet of the labor policy, that's just the paragraph number.
Right here.
So page 1 is number 1, 5 is on the same page. Go to page 8, and that's number 34.
Hold on, let me find it.
Mr. President?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Apps.
I guess I interpreted Mr. Bingham's motion to separate all the separate 3 different parts. So I guess I would recommend going forward according to that.
Then he said he
Unless I
had no
misunderstood.
problem with 2 of them, that's why I ran them together, but you are right, and that's why we pay you good money. So what I'm going to do is we're going to vote on number 1 first, okay? Section 1 first, which is the bone of contention here. Okay? Do I have a motion to vote on section 1?
Moved.
Moved by the Vice President. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Saylor. Discussion. Hearing no request to speak, all those in favor, passing section 1 of the 2020.
Division on this, since it's a vote of contention, so we'll do a roll call.
We now have a request for a roll call vote. Are we going to do it on all of them?
At least number 1.
All right,
because
we
that's
are
the vote
going
of
to, I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll. This is a vote on section 1 only.
Okay, Trustee Bingham,
Nay.
Trustee Duncan,
Aye.
Trustee Grundon,
Aye.
Trustee Mansell,
Aye.
Trustee Mitchell,
Aye.
Trustee Saylor,
Aye.
and President Zerko.
Aye. Okay, section 1 passes. Now we're going to go on to section 5.
Moved.
Moved by the Vice President.
Second.
Second by Trustee Bingham. Is there any discussion on item 5? Hearing no request to speak, all those in favor? Correction. Anybody going to call for a roll call vote? Hearing no request for that, all those in favor of section 5 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Do I have a motion on section 34?
Moved.
By the
Second.
Vice President, second by Trustee Bingham. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving section 34 of the 2020 labor policy signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're done. Motion passes.
All right. There was a recommendation for presentation made to the full board regarding DMI, so I would move this time to go into closed session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Bingham. We are now going to have a roll call vote. Motion to go into closed session per 1985 Wisconsin statute, subparent 1, subparent G as in George, conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved regarding DMI. Madam Chair.
Okay, Trustee Bingham,
Yes.
Trustee Duncan,
Aye.
Trustee Grundon,
Yes.
Trustee Mansell,
Yes.
Trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
Trustee Saylor,
Aye.
President Zerko.
Aye. We're now in closed session. Okay, Mr. Chairman, finish up your committee report.
There is no action to take coming out of closed session, so I'm done.
Okay, any unfinished business from our last meeting? Any new business? Under the new business, I would like to, something we put off since last April, and it's something that the village president's not involved in, and we said we would put off the election of this session's vice president until we could all meet. This is the second time we've all met, and I would like to have that on the agenda for next board meeting, if you folks would be so kind. Okay? That will be on the agenda, Madam Clerk, then, for the August meeting. Report from village administrator, and that's Boz, but Dwayne, I'm so used to you saying something, so please add in that.
I'm gonna let Bob start.
Okay.
He's the administrator.
All right, so you have 3 talking points there. Obviously, the 2 for our friends down the road here, a few doors. We are in the process of serving a citation, $900 for violations for the property. The issue we're having with that individual is the ability to serve. He bounces around, he's refused notification. We have Taylor County as well as Wood County, as well as our police trying to do that. But regardless, he has a fine against his property. We're going to he has a court date on 14 August, and we're going to give him 30 days after that to do a reinspection, forced entry reinspection if required, to continue the clock going. You see a trend here is that there's no sense to have an ordinance, a rule, a law that's not enforceable, and we got to hold our citizens and ourselves accountable. So we're going to do that with that individual. More to follow on his actions or lack thereof of actions. We'll continue to do the PA audit implementation. Dwayne has informed me where we stand on it, so I'll continue to give you updates as the year goes on when it comes to the checklist and how we're addressing some of the issues there with performance evaluations, job descriptions, and so on. And I will try to work those, I will work those through the committees and then present to you as a board on a monthly basis if required. And third bullet in full transparency is that based on a lot of these legal initiatives that are ongoing now that Dwayne has been directly involved in, I want to make it very clear that there will be and may be a need to require his assistance and attendance coming back in the near future. This will not be through PAA. This will be as an individual that we would ask him, and just unlike a citizen where you're going to come, he's coming to represent the village. So he would be on the clock during those times. So it'll be managed by myself. I'll inform the FHR committee if we're doing it. It'll be an hourly basis. He's provided a contract, and I'll provide that to the FHR. But if the requirements for expertise, not only on active engagements that are ongoing on with DMI, Noble, and a few other instances, but if there's any specific that we require in the next weeks to a couple months, that we require his expertise when it comes to zoning and so on, I want to be able to approach the board requesting that assistance.
It's kind of end up being like an of-council situation type thing?
Yeah,
To a certain extent. but
I'm more
also-
worried about, DMI or Mr. Noble says, I'm going to court, where's this guy? Because he's the one that served me.
Mr. Chairman.
That's what I'm worried about.
Could you bring that to your August 6th
Yeah.
meeting? And then you'll do the verbiage in that?
We got the
Just
verbiage, yes.
If it involves Mr. Gall, don't let him near the purse strings, okay? We'll
Yeah, I got
trust
you.
you with that. There, now I'm even, Dwayne.
Please make sure it's on my agenda.
We'll get it. You got anything else, Dwayne? You wanna-
Yeah, I was just gonna say that what I've done is, I have my own company. It's called Dwayne Gall Municipal Services. That's the contract with that group. I actually, I'm actually a consultant to PAA, so therefore I have to have my own company to work with them, but I sub to them, so therefore I'm done with my original contract with PAA. I mentioned to Devon that basically it would be as need services, and I provide it as a limited term type process. Finally, I got the floor, and I think I will take it for a little bit. I want to let you folks know that it has been a pleasure working with you for the last almost 6 months. Normally, the stint is not that long. It really has been a pleasure. You all bring a lot to the table as board members. I have worked with each one individually. I've worked almost everybody in this room individually in different things and different process. I'm going to say that I feel this community is fortunate. You have a very, very wonderful community. It's a gem. Working here, seeing it here, Point Edwards has a nice gem where it's located. It's a small community, and I tell you something, it's been a pleasure even meeting some of your citizens. Also, I want to say that you have a very, very good staff. You've got a staff that has really, in the absence of administrator or interim administrator, have really put themselves together, pulled themselves up, and that's one of the reasons why I brought a lot of things to you in the last few months, what I've seen, what they have done for you. You also have good people that I work with, you have good consultants. You have good consultants working for you, they got their heart involved for the community, and I think that you're very fortunate to have some of those consultants. And so at this point, I'm gonna say, thank you very much for giving me a chance to be part of your community. And Boz, it's all yours.
The Cardinals won on that one.
Oh, there you go. And he's been a pleasure and a very informative, from where I come from, a left seat, right seat ride, where he's in the driver's seat, I'm in the passenger, then we swap. The month in June, as well as since my time on the ground, Dwayne has been outstanding for me to be able to get a grasp of a lot of the issues quick, and then be able to get in this seat and start rolling. So I appreciate that, my friend, and thank you. And I got your phone number. What I handed out, I didn't want to put it in because the format of the administrative report, I wanted to tweak a little bit. When hired, when you all were looking, and when in my discussions with some of y'all over the past times, I wanted to address the stovepipes. I wanted to address how we get information out. I wanted to address a consolidated document from the administrator's seat of where we stand as a village across the spectrum, as I call human resources, public works, so on. So what I would ask is some commentary on this over the next few weeks. This product that I'm going to look forward to go live with it in the August board from my report, my official report. But it basically gets out at giving you a lot of data points and a lot of, and gets back to assessing. That's my job, working with my staff, to consume all that data, present you some courses of actions, present you some assessments, so we have a more professional discussion, rather than you guys nickel and diming and getting into the weeds. You do that as your boards, you do it as your committees, but from an administrator's perspective, having a one-stop shop where it addresses all the issues, as well as a summary of our environment, our community, our locality, and major projects, I think this will be a product helping us move forward, as well as not only my staff, but our citizens, where they can go instead of digging through 15 committee reports and so on. So please give me any feedback on this if you think I'm missing something or going off target, and we'll take it from there. That's all I got.
Court Treasurer.
Oh, nothing.
Okay, trustees' comments. Yes, Eric.
I would like to thank Dwayne for the past, I don't know how many months he's been here.
September.
September 6th. Yeah.
Seems longer.
It was a pleasure working with you. Pleasure getting to know you. And you became kind of a resident of your own here. I appreciate that. And to tie that over, I'd like to welcome Boz as the next administrator. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ditto.
Dwayne, I really do want to thank you. You've had patience, tolerance, encouragement, leadership, things that for me as a board member have been very helpful. And I very much appreciated it. You have a soft redirection when necessary. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And looking forward to making sure you've left Boz trained so he knows the soft
Sure.
redirection.
Reel it back in. I got it.
Welcome, Boz.
Yes, ma'am.
Probably wasn't easy to train Boz since he's U.S. Army,
Yeah.
but like Eric being Navy and me spend a little time there, we train easier, so. Just had to get that in there. Okay, committee calendars. Once again, this will be the second month in a row. I better knock on some wood there, that, not to jinx it, that we're gonna have just our 5 meetings, the way it used to be many years ago. Tuesday, July 23rd, 5 p.m., Chairman Mitchell and the CERT Committee. All these meetings will be at the MBC. Tuesday, August 4th, 5 p.m., Public Safety. Thursday, August 6th, 5 p.m. will be the PIT Committee. And Tuesday, August 11th at 6 p.m. will be FHR. And then Tuesday, August 11th, following that will be the board meeting at 7 p.m. And for Chairman Grundon and the Vice President, I will not be at the next public safety or PIT meetings. So make sure you check with your other 2 committee members, and if you're going to need somebody else, pick a trustee of choice if you need to have 3 people there. That's pretty much it. And Dwayne, been fun.
Really?
It's been fun. I thought about what I was gonna say to you tonight, and I think maybe my official thank you note will be personally delivered up in Wausau. Maybe we can head out on Highway 29 West if Charlie's is still open. They used to have some good steak and chicken out
I know exactly what you're talking about.
there. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
It would be Duncan and Bingham. We stand adjourned.